For the Canterbury Shooting Club, I'm making some falling poppers. Here's one here that I made before. I'm in the process of building them up at the moment. What they do is they set them up on the ground. It's like hunt and seek, where they play games, and when they shoot them, the projectile hits it and it falls forward. It's a reactive target, and it's a lot more fun than shooting holes in paper. It's you can go around and play games and sort them out. The reason that they have them falling forward is because a lot of times with handguns you take several shots at things, and if it was falling backwards, then the second projectile as it's falling backwards could hit the edge and skip off, and so for safety reasons it comes towards you, it's out of the way, and it's job done. This is the frame for the popper. I want it to be bent to a specific radius. I've just built up a frame which is in a die which is the radius I want. With the grunt, the piece of steel's got no option but to go where I tell it to. It's a certain width, it's a certain radius, you just push it through and that's where it goes. I've got a diving hunting friend, Greg, and he's been in the industry for many years as a boner, and he sees the cuts of meat that they have to do. There are machines out there which weigh about 1.2 tonnes. They're extremely expensive. They do this operation. Otherwise, smaller companies that he worked for, they can't afford that machine, so they hire a lamb boner to do that specific cut of meat. And it's a little bit involved because of the shape of the backbone, etc. And he's thinking, well, surely there's got to be an easier way. So he come to me, and him knowing the cuts of the meat and how it has to be done, and me knowing a bit about engineering, he asked if we could get our heads together and we build something that will do the job, and that's what we've done. Basically, it clamps to a bench via holes or clamps. In the industry, they get a large bandsaw and they cut the lamb up into sections. One section is the piece that's through here, and it's got the back stakes on it, and there's a vertebrae with a bone that fits in the trough here. You get the piece of the saddle, and you place it in there, engage it into there. Some of them are different lengths, so the machine comes along with this rod here that engages the other back of the bone, and when it gets to the length it wants, it stays there, and then the blades take over and you push it through and it removes the meat off the bone. What's good about these is their size. They're not large. Anybody can work one. One thing in the industry that they believe they like is the cleaning of it. Comes apart quite easily. Just like that, you pull that apart, clean it out with a bottle brush, and you've got the rest of the machine here to clean. It's not as involved to clean as something that weighs 1.2 tonnes. When you're finished, you just reassemble it and hang it up on the wall. I haven't been thinking about conveyor trucks at all, and the guy that's come to me with the problem's been thinking about them for quite some time, so I've got to get in his head and convert his ideas and what he wants to achieve and use my knowledge of engineering to achieve what he wants. So that was a lot of time had to be spent talking about what he wanted. The machine was basically one-third built for you. It had the capacity of ladders that concertinaed out, which was great because that was already done. Now what we had to do is change its configuration. Instead of people walking up and down the ladders, it had to be rubber belts and conveyor systems. And another great problem was when it was all packed together and it was sitting there working, we had to achieve it so that it wouldn't reach a height over 4.25 metres, which is road rules in New Zealand. Otherwise you have to have special permits to put it on the road. So trying to achieve what he wanted and keep it into a package which was under height took a bit of thinking about. Engineering's, it's not a chore for me though, it's something I like doing, and doing it in my own little space is great.